Welcome to tonight's episode of One Drink, Three Bars. Or maybe we should call it One Bar, Three Drinks. We've received another Shaker and Spoon subscription box, and in case you haven't seen some of my other videos, or if you're unfamiliar with Shaker and Spoon, it's basically a cocktail subscription service, and every month they send you enough ingredients to make 3 different craft cocktails at home. This month's spirit was apple brandy, and I actually had a little trouble finding this locally, and I almost skipped this box, but I found it and I'm looking forward to trying it. The box is called Flavors of Fall, and I'll admit I'm not a huge fan of fall flavors. I'm not really sure why, I just prefer the bright citrusy summer cocktails, and maybe I'm just soured on it because I don't like the way certain people act in fall.
That's pretty smooth, but it ain't got no pumpkin in it. How they gonna call it a fall flavor if it ain't got no pumpkin spice?
They're like, oh, pumpkin spice lattes, hoodies, football game sweaters. I mean, they act all excited, but the days are getting shorter, the weather's getting shitty, and it's just like not something to celebrate. Anyway, we'll see if Shaker and Spoon's box can change my mind about the cocktails of the season. Let's tear into the box and see what we got. Now, I knew ahead of time that they were going to be including limes, so I went ahead and opened the box and took the limes out so they wouldn't be sitting in there for days. And I also took the recipe card out just because it was on the top. Let's see what we've got in here. They start out with some dried apple slices and a little bag of candied ginger. A whole piece of nutmeg, a nutmeg seed. Some cute little cocktail picks. Oh, here's a lime I forgot, but it was fine. Another lime. A vanilla pear shrub. Birch syrup. Fever tree ginger beer. Rich cranberry syrup. Cute little thing of Angostura bitters. And I usually just use my big bottle of Angostura bitters, and I save this for a trip or something. Can't go anywhere without your bitters. These are the Cocktail Experiment Old-Fashioned Aromatic Bitters. Alright, so we're gonna make the Wolfe and Wehr first. Nearly every month they include like an old-fashioned riff in the box, and it sounds a lot like that's what the Wolfe and Wehr is. So it calls for 2.5 ounces of the Laird's apple brandy, and then 1/4 ounce of the birch syrup, 3 dashes of Angostura bitters, and like I said, I'm going to use my big bottle because I want to save this little one. I'm going to deviate from their instructions. I'm just going to add some ice to this mixing glass and mix it in here. I see my mixing glass getting a little frosty, so I think it's time to strain it over our big ice sphere. And you finally garnish it with one of these apple slices. I'm gonna kind of set that on the top. And there's our Wolfe and Wehr. I'm enjoying the Wolfe and Wehr, and I'm about to jump into the second cocktail I'm gonna make from this box. It's called the Rougeoise. This is one that you build in a shaker and you serve it in a coupe. We've chilled our coupe. We've also squeezed the lime that Shaker and Spoon sent. So the fresh lime juice is ready, so this should be a pretty easy one. Add all the liquid ingredients into a shaker, the first one being the apple brandy, 2 ounces. 1 ounce of lime juice. So 3/4 ounce of the rich cranberry syrup. 1 dash of old-fashioned aromatic bitters. Next, I'm going to add some ice to my shaker. As usual, I'm going to shake this until the pins feel too cold for me to touch. I'm going to double strain this into my coupe. And then for the garnish, we're gonna grate fresh nutmeg over the top of the drink. Now they suggested using a microplane, and I don't have one, but I have this really cool handheld cheese grater that Publix gave me for free, so shout out to Publix. It's the best grocery store around. I'm sorry if you don't have one in your area. That works perfectly as long as I don't grate my finger. Very nice. And there we have the Rougeoise. That one is really good. I think I like it better than the Wolfe and Wehr. I like this one, but it's a little sweeter than I normally like. This one, I guess like the tartness of the lime and the cranberry kind of play more to my taste. So now we're gonna make our third drink from this month's box. It's called the Pear Necessities. Ha 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 ha. And this is one that's built in a shaker, so let's get started. It calls for 1.5 ounces of the apple brandy. It calls for 3/4 ounce of the vanilla pear shrub. And this is super interesting. You can actually see like vanilla beans in it. So the instructions say to add the brandy and the shrub to a shaker. Fill the shaker with ice and shake. And this is served in a Collins glass, and I have one chilled with ice in the freezer. And it's not just any glass, it's a crooked glass. So the next thing we do, and I've never seen this before, but we add just a little bit of the ginger beer to the shaker after we shake it. And then we strain everything into our glass. And then the last step is to top it off with some ginger beer. And then finally we're going to garnish it with a candied ginger on one of the cocktail picks they provided. And there we have it, the Pear Necessities. Now that's like another like light and refreshing sipper. Not something I would think of when I think of fall flavors. I would think of like pumpkin spice bullshit.
It's real smooth.
And like really heavy stuff, but this is good. I would totally make this again. That's our third and final drink from this month's Shaker and Spoon box. As always, like and subscribe. If you're interested in trying out one of these boxes for yourself, I'll put a link below for you to get 50% off your box if you use my referral link.